pop culture. You don't want to hear it from me because we have three amazing guests for you guys. Let's bring them out and hear their stories. But before we do that, we do have a special offering, if you will say. We are going to have all three of them on stage. So if you do want photo ops on stage with them, stick around because you can get those. I think it's right here. You can see this lovely lady here waving her hand. You can come up and see her if you want more information on that. But that will be happening right around the time the panel ends. But without further ado, help me welcome these three icons to the stage. Let's bring out Anson Williams, Henry Winkler, and Tommy Moss. And welcome, Jack. Now, instead of hearing me ramble on and talk about the show, we're going to have Henry take it over. Here you go, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Thank you, sir.
We are so happy to be here, especially on this holiday weekend. We need you to do us a favor. We need you to email everybody you know in America that we're here. No, that's not, it is true. You know what, we thought, instead of just talking at you, it is so much more fun to find out what it is you want to know, and then we will try and answer those questions. Pretty much everything is on the table, except for how tall am I? I went to the doctor the other day, swear to God, I said, I'm 5'6½". He said, you're 5'5½". I somehow shrunk. As you get older, you shrink. I didn't know. Anyway, thank you for being here. Do not be shy. If we could raise the house lights, if there is such a thing, so we can see you. Somebody have a question? You do, sir. What is your name?
Paul.
Hi, Paul. How are you? And what is your question?
255 episodes from 1974 to 1984. And there were so many incredible episodes. Maybe each of you could pick one of your favorite episodes, a brief description and or title.
Okay, that is just so easy to do. Donald.
All right, I guess I'm going first. The one that pops up for me, it was in the beginning of the third season, and up until then, you know, my character, especially in the beginning, was more on the periphery, and then gradually I became more and more part of the gang with Richie and Potsy and Fonzie, and but I was still, it was always in a supporting manner. And then in the third season, we read the script that was coming up, and I saw that it was going to be kind of centered around my character, and so I was really excited about that, and I dove into that script, and then when we did it, it turned out great. It turned out great. So that one pops in because it was that first one.
What was it?
That it was called, the name of this episode was called Motorcycle. And it was the one where somebody had absolutely demolished Fonzie's motorcycle. Just demolished it. And he was out to get the guy who did it. And it turns out that it was me. But I had accidentally hit it, and then I panicked, and it caught something, and it went forward and reversed, and just destroyed it. Then I was going to move west, because I was getting out of town. So anyway, and I had great stuff with Henry in that episode, just great stuff. So that's probably, it's definitely up there with the best of my favorites.
Hey, thanks for taking away my favorite. Seriously, that was my favorite, honestly. I have a tie for a second favorite. One was saving Fonzie from the fire, and I won. My request was being your best friend or being a friend. Remember that? It was really. It was because we were able to actually do something together.
When you asked me to be your best friend, you asked me to do something with you.
Yes.
What was that?
I forget.
You asked me
To go roller skating,
skating.
which is how hysterical was Henry. Remember the roller skating one? Did you see? Remember that one? And he can't skate, trying to be cool. Brilliant. The other one was I had the opportunity to sing to Joni. It was the Dren show, and was able to sing "Put Your Head on My Shoulder," and that was just that was a very special script, and just a show I think that hit the hearts of the country. So.
You know, thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome.
I will tell you that we are three really lucky people because we had no idea what was going to happen that when we were starting to film our show. In the beginning, it was almost taken off the air. Gary Marshall, who I miss every single day, our leader, went to ABC and said, we're going to do it in front of a live audience, at which time it became #1. Yeah. We did as this...
76, 77, #1.
Are you writing a history of our show?
Same year, Dr. J's first year in Philly, 76, 77.
There you go. But here it is. My favorite is when Richie had an accident and landed up in the hospital, and I prayed to God over him and said, if I owe you a favor, if you make Richie better again. And that was the first time that the Fonz cried, because we got letters from homes of wayward boys, and they said, they show no emotion. They love the Fonz, but they will not open in a group session. They will not talk about their feelings. So I cried on the air in order to show all of these young fellows it was just fine to show your emotions. You don't lose anything.
Thank you so much.
Remember when we got the library card?
The
Library cards double in the United States.
The library card went up 500% in America when the Fonz took out his card and said, you could take a book out, but you could meet chicks there. All right, sir, are you next? Anybody want to ask a question?
Right there, yes, sir.
Yes.
So we all know Happy Days, for better or worse, coined the term jump the shark.
Yeah.
Did you think it jumped the shark, and how do you feel about being sort of part of history of just using that in everyday language?
It never jumped the shark.
We all know it didn't, but how do you feel about it?
When they wrote about Jump the Shark at that time, there were newspapers that people read. And they had my picture water skiing in the newspaper when they would talk about Jump the Shark. And we didn't care because we were #1 for at least 5 years after that. And I had great legs at the time. But no, we never, now the young man has a radio show through Howard Stern. He had a board game, a book. So for him it was very successful. For us it didn't matter.
We all agree.
Thank you.
At the time, he sold the whole thing to TV Guide for $10 million.
He did.
He did.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
We should
he
pay
did.
him a visit.
Yeah. Do I have merchandising rights or something?
We have to have something. Yes.
Hi. What about Pinky and Leather Tuscadero?
Okay. All right. I will just give you my impression, and the boys will. It is not nice to talk about the dead. I hated Pinky. Leather Tuscadero, on the other hand, was a real rocker from Detroit. She is still rocking all over Europe. She worked so hard to be great, and she was absolutely lovely. Susan Quattro is fabulous.
Nice.
Yeah, I definitely echo that, because in the episode, the first one, it might have been a two-parter, I can't remember, but I took Leather Tuscadero to the prom. So I had a lot of fondness for Susie, and yeah, and we've been communicating. She's great. She's touring all over. Yeah, she was fabulous.
She lives in London, I believe, right? Yeah. So and Pinky, yeah. Oh, there we go. And I think like Pinky, how many episodes was she in? Like 2?
Too many.
2 is too many, yeah. So I don't remember, but Susie's just amazing. I mean, and what a good person too.
Hello.
Hi. This question is for Mr. Winkler. I was just curious, all of your experiences over the years, both as an actor and as a director, what does it all taught you about life?
You know, I'll tell you exactly. Especially now, and not necessarily. In acting, you must be in the moment, talking to your partner or musing about what is happening, but you must be in the moment. When I was in drama school, the very famous book was Being Here Now, Be Here Now, by Baba Ramdas. And I did not understand the book. And the way that things are turning in this world, it is so important for us to be in the moment. Enjoy the moment you're in, because the moments are getting so nuts.
So I wasn't alive when the show originally aired, but
We are glad you're alive now.
There are reruns.
Well, that's what my question pertains to. So I grew up watching the reruns with my parents, who did watch it when it was first airing. And I was just wondering, how has your relationship with the fans evolved, and have you seen people of my generation, millennials, embracing the show because we watched it with our parents?
That sounds like a question for you, Henry.
You know what? I want to tell you something. It is amazing. We have been together, we have been friends for over 50 years. The show started 50 years ago, and we are all in this room together in 2025. That tells you everything you need to know. It is like the Energizer Bunny. We are met with such warmth everywhere we go, either individually or when we are together as a troupe. And Ron would be here if he was not off directing a movie. You know, he is very much a part of the family. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. I mean, and I think a lot of that too. Gary Marshall, our mentor, the creator of Happy Days, one of the most just wonderful, wonderful men. He had a lot to do with keeping us together, keeping our egos in check. He inspired us. Egos. Oh, okay. But anyway, he inspired us. He inspired us to continue in other areas of entertainment. But one thing that really brought us together, he created a softball team. I don't know if you know it, but we were pretty much all ex-athletes and played softball. Henry learned to pitch beautifully. And we were able to go to every major stadium in the United States and play pre-games together. Phenomenal experiences. We went overseas. We did USO shows against the Marines, the Army, the Navy. We're in Okinawa over the China Sea. We're outside of Würzburg with the 3rd Infantry Division. And when they ask about what's our favorite memories of Happy Days, for me, it's those ball games. Because Gary felt you'll always have the back of your teammate, and he thought that would come back to the set, and it did. And I think that has a lot to do with our friendship today.
And you know what is amazing? I'm traveling in New York City. I'm on the subway. Somebody comes up to me with a little stroller, and she said, when I was my daughter's age, I was there in Germany with my parents watching you play softball. What a circle of life. We had the greatest time. And these guys were athletes. I was not. They taught me how to pitch, and that's all I could do. I couldn't hit, I couldn't catch. Thank you.
You're a big part of my childhood, so thank you.
Sir.
I love you guys.
Can I ask you a question? Is your hair two different colors?
It is, yeah. I kind of went the wicked route.
There you go.
And trying to be different.
Do you fly?
Not yet. But loved you guys on Happy Days. Fond memories of all the episodes, and just love that the show was cool and wholesome and family friendly and fun at the same time. But Robin Williams, who got his start as more on your show, any fond memories, and did you guys stay in touch with him and just kind of things from
Donnie?
Well, the one that comes to mind is the first time I saw Robin, because we were rehearsing the show during the week, but they were having a lot of trouble casting this character. A bunch of people turned it down, and then somebody accepted it, but then, because we thought the script was terrible, and somebody quit, and they didn't have a morgue. And so they finally got him on a Thursday when we're going to shoot on Friday. And that's because Gary Marshall's sister and I think Al Molinaro had seen him at the Comedy Store. And they said, oh, he'd be perfect. We know the guy. So Robin auditioned, got the part. So the first time, I experienced Robin, I remember, it was Thursday. It was almost noon. They'd been rehearsing. Rehearsal started at maybe 9, 10 in the morning, but I didn't have to come in till later because my scenes weren't till later. And I went into the stage door with Paramount. What were we, 19 or 21? 19, stage 19. And I walked in there and there was just, you could feel this electricity. I don't know how that was possible, but I felt something. And then people are coming up to me, where do you see this guy? He's unbelievable. I mean, you got to come and watch. So I went to the center of the stage, and there I saw him rehearsing the scene with Henry, and I think with Reg, with Ron, but it might have just been Henry. And you just were like stupefied. The guy's coming up with all these things that were not in the script, and each one was different, new. If they did it again, it was even stuff that he didn't do in the previous take, and it was better. So we were just amazed, and we wound up doing the show, and it turned out to be a great show. When we were thinking it was going to be a terrible show, but he had practically, rewrote his part. And then, we come back on Monday after we shoot it, and we hear, oh, you hear? Robin's got his own series now. Just like that. I mean, literally, it was that quick.
But Jackie was such a kind man. The following Friday night, there was Robin giving, I think he gave everybody little presents, thanking us for, for being part of the show.
But I want to tell you, so here's a guy, he comes in, very, very unassuming, and then they put a script in his hand, and I said to him, hey, you want to rumble? And all I thought about was, know your line so you don't have to do it over and over again, and stay out of his way because you will never stand toe-to-toe with this Mount Vesuvius of an imagination. Now, it's true, it is honestly done. So our scripts were 54 pages long. On his set, they were 30 pages long because it said, Robin will say something here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, we have time for one more. Yes, sir.
Just want to say that, of course, I'm a big fan. I used to have a Happy Days lunch pail when I was a kid. I wish I had it. I could ask a lot of questions here, but the one clarity is, what memories do you have of Chuck in the first season?
Which one?
Well, I thought there was only one Chuck.
No. Go, man.
Well, was it Gavin O'Hurley? He was the first. No, he won. No, he was number two.
The first guy left. He just said, I don't
Oh, the
want to be
first-
an actor anymore.
Oh.
And went and sold insurance in San Diego.
Oh,
Then they hired Gavin.
Gavin. So what happened? So they had now it's a nice show. And Gary's first, well, he quit. But I think Gary's trying to figure out what to do with Chuck because there were so many things.
Well, he did figure it out. Chuck went upstairs with his basketball under his arm and he never came down.
And Gary said, "They'll never miss it. They'll never miss it." They didn't. All of a sudden,
He was the older brother, and the Fonz was the older brother. So there could not be two older brothers. So they wrote Chuck out of the series.
I was about to ask.
But then they did bring, when they needed a Chuck, when Richie was going to get his own apartment or something, they needed Chuck, and then they hired something Randolph or...
the third Chuck.
Yeah.
Randolph was the first Chuck.
Well, no, but somebody came in for an episode
Yeah,
after.
He came back from
the
a
man
trip.
who was in Willow, Ron Howard's movie Willow.
Gavin.
The Irish actor.
Gavin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, anyway,
How did they break it to you exactly that they were?
Oh,
they didn't explain.
he's out.
Yeah. It's like he's not in the script.
Right.
I know.
Yeah. That was it. But listen, thank you so much. It is the holiday season. Be safe. And remember, where is Jody? Jody, wave your hand, Jody. Jody, if you're interested in taking a picture with the three of us, we will stand over there and take a picture with you with your own cameras. Or, if you don't want to do that, we are at our tables. And it is lonely at our table. And I have no pride, so you're invited to our table. Thank you.
Thank you.
I know that this is where the big networks kind of started, right? So when you guys would watch these shows, everybody saw the shows. It wasn't like we binge them now. Like I can watch Stranger Things, and I don't know if she's watched Stranger Things, and I can't talk to her about it. But all of you guys watch this relatively at the same time. So talk to me about like what that water cooler chat was like the next day. Who said that they saw the show as it was airing live? I'm gonna ask you. So how was it back then when you would talk to everybody about television with the workplace? It seemed like a family. The characters seemed like a part of the family?
They were part of my family.
I know.
You know what, I could relate to a lot of things that was going on at that
Here, I'm gonna come down and say. All right, so what'd you say?
I said I could relate to them because I was growing up with them.
Right.
And so they felt like part of my family. And so man, did you see Happy Days last night in Arizona? You know, and or I could just tell them, I did that too.
Right. All right, so have you guys all seen every single 255 episodes? You didn't watch a weekly 255 episodes. How many people found Happy Days retroactively? Like after the fact? Okay, let me ask you a question now. What brought on wanting to watch Happy Days after the fact?
Well, for me, I'm always researching TV shows and everything, and I'm always curious about like, ooh, what if I was alive at that time? Like, would I resonate with the characters and that kind of stuff?
Right on. How old are you?
I'm 32.
32. Okay, so you're a youngin' to be watching Happy Days. All right, so this show took place in the 19... I don't know why I'm sitting up here like I'm giving like a... but anyway, this show was based in the 1950s, but came out in 1974, I believe, right? You were born in 52? Oh, so how much nostalgia factor was a part of the show for you? You love the nostalgia factor. I feel like you should be moderating this family.
No, that's okay. No, I loved it because I read the cars we drove and just where, yeah.
What's your name, by the way? Janet, nice to meet you, Janet. Are you from here in San Francisco? She said, heck no. She said, heck no.
Sorry. I'm from Railroad Flat. There you go.
Where's that?
Out in the boondocks.
Okay. How many people are here from out of state? Where you from? Cleveland, Ohio. Hey, whoa.